Hey guys, it's your boy, Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. Welcome to another addition to the channel. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe and make sure that you stay informed for what we're talking about when it comes to finances and motivation and education here. So let me break this down to you. So today we're going to talk about why schools keep you dumb when it comes to finances. This is something that me and my father, my late father who just passed away, we talk about all the time. We talk about where schools don't teach you how to run a business as far as for yourself. Like when I was at A&T, they only had a certificate for entrepreneurship where it should have been flipped around, especially for HBCUs, to teach you how to like go to a corporate job for an intern, right? Learn a trade at that job, right? Learn the skill, what you're trying to do, get out of there and create it for your own. And to me, it's a disservice, right? We got so many people out here telling me I need money, I need money, I need money. But rather for them to say, hey, let me figure out an idea to how I can not have to work for money, I can make money work for me. A lot of people won't do that. So it should be two things, to be honest with you. It should have been more things talked about. If you're not trying to be an entrepreneur, you're not trying to, hey, I'm trying to run my own business. That sounds stressful. Then you need to have a strong understanding about investments, truly understanding about how to invest, what to look out for, whether that's dealing with stocks, if that's dealing with real estate, or dealing with other businesses. That's something that's not taught at school. And it's just terrible. And the reason why we're in this situation now is people don't understand the concept of money. People look at money as, well, I just spend it out. Then I go to work, refill it, spend it out, go to work, refill it, spend it out. And if that's all you're doing with your money, I'm sorry for you. And you know, all the way up to now, right? I'm thinking if you put your money in your checking account, that's a good thing. No, absolutely not. If your money's just sitting there, it's not doing anything other than someone sticking their hand in there trying to do some invest. Now, don't get me wrong. You should have some type of IRA. You should have some type of investment tool working for you in the background, but don't sit there and put all your chips into this. I put all my money, look at my checking account. Okay, what's that money doing? Just other than sitting there, right? Because it's one thing where you got your money going in investments, right? And it's making your money grow. Because if you're putting your money into a checking account that gives you some type of interest, it's not very strong interest, right? It's not going to yield 5% or anything like that, where you could just put your money into either a IRA, right? Or you could put it into some type of crypto where if you really needed the money, you could pull that money. But guess what? That money's already yield up, right? I did it many times with crypto where my money was at like $3,000. I waited a few years, it shot up to $20,000. That's just me adding $75 every month or every other week, right? Truly, they don't teach these things in school. They teach you about the principles of finances. And I remember when I was at A&T, we talked about finances. I remember at FIU, we talked about finances, but not to talk about like, hey, going from middle school, going from, yeah, middle school all the way up to high school about understanding the money. That's truly not discussed. The only thing I remember when I was in middle school, how to balance a checkbook. That was it. Not to talk about the good and bad about credit cards, because credit cards can be used for good and they can be used for bad. But mostly, from what I've been told, credit cards are bad, right? That's what people are telling me, because these people say it's bad, it's witchcraft, basically. And it's not witchcraft, guys. It's just people not having an understanding that the power of a credit card. Because money to me is a tool. Money to me is that, yes, you could go punch a clock, right? You can go work 40, 60, 70 hours, but should you do that? Should you jeopardize your health mentally and physically? And maybe, oh, yeah, your family, right? Because a lot of people don't talk about that. I see this in the Navy, right? I see a lot of people going through divorces because they're spending all their time on a ship. And that's one thing, right? You're obligated, right? But these folks are working these crazy hours and then they don't get the respect that they get at home. That becomes another issue on itself. Now, I would tell you this very simple, that money is a tool to your freedom. Money can do things for you if you understand it correctly. Money needs to go through many phases, right? It doesn't shouldn't go to, let me go to Macy's here and let me go get this nice suit. Look at what you're trying to do long term, because these little things here ain't long term. I saw people at work that were just bragging about they got 70 pairs of shoes. I'm like, okay. And he bragging like, oh, it's good. It's good. I got 70 pair. I got sneakers. I got this. I don't got the many shoes, man. It's no need for me to have all those shoes. And to me, that's this question because that's like it's a hobby, blah, blah, blah. I need a hobby that's gonna make me some money, right? Like I can see you say I'm buying watches because watches can be appraised over time, right? They can be appraised, they can make value, but I don't see sneakers like, especially if you wearing them, right? I can see one thing. Hey, I bought the first Jordans. I never wore them. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I wore these. I'm wearing these other shoes. I can't. I'm not a shoe guy, right? I'm not that type of dude. Not those type of shoes. But a lot of people have these things, right? A lot of people brag about buying the latest and greatest, buying the latest clothes or whatnot. And I look at that, right? Because people, you have to understand if you're buying these stuff, you're buying it, you're making someone else rich. I'm not saying you go walk around in rags, but you gotta understand, okay, do I really need this? What am I trying to ultimately trying to get to? Because a lot of people forget what they're trying to get to. A lot of us don't even write down what we're trying to do. We don't sit there and write our goals, let alone say our affirmations about these goals, saying what we want to have happen, when it's going to happen. And it's not good enough to say, well, I'm just going to pray about it. It's about us calling it out, right? Calling it out and say, I'm going to accomplish this by this time. I'm going to do this. Even if you think, oh, no. And that's another thing, too. If you have doubts in your head, if you believe you're not going to hit it, then you're not going to hit it. But you have to believe in yourself to make it happen. But if these finances, with what's going on now with the economy, $38 billion in a deficit is not looking good. And if you're thinking they're going to erase your debt, good luck on that, because there's already issues now with the school loan situation. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, school loans are going to be paid off. Well, not everyone went to college, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't go to college. I'm not saying that at all, right? You should learn some stuff. You have to stay educated. If you think going to high school, learning for 12 years is just perfect, then you got a wrong attitude right there. Okay. It's always continuous learning. Even with me with my masters, I got books over there in my kitchen that I read, right? Because I got to stay educated. The way to stay from being broke is to be educated, understanding the power of finances and learning from the people who got that money, understanding how did they did it, how did they do this stuff, how did they get to the next situation that they want it to be, versus this living check to check. Most of us can't say we live check. Most of us can say we live check to broke, meaning that as soon as the money come out, expenses, that's it. We're broke. I'm on the bologna and bread sandwich diet for the next 2 weeks or so forth. We can't live like that. It's got to be a better way. I think honestly, the schools need to change. And when I mean schools, I'm not just talking about college. I'm talking about from the get go. Like teach the kids when they're young, help them understand the whole thing about ownership. The power lies in ownership, whether you owning land, if you owning a business, whether you owning some type of product that you're making. That's what truly needs to happen. And then get out of the consumerism, right? Get out of I gotta constantly buy something brand new all the time. I knew someone who was buying cars all the time, brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new, but didn't have a damn thing to pay their bills with, right? And it makes no sense right there. Understand that your money, your income that you're making is the buying power. And you need to be careful because there will be ads running out there. There will be commercials. It will tell you, oh, you deserve this, you deserve that, but it's no fiscal responsibility because the country doesn't have any fiscal responsibility. Let's do something a lot better than that. Okay, guys? If you want to hear more, let me know. Drop the comments down below. Again, my name is Mr. Luke M. Brooks. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care.